everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Kathy at Attic Treasures Etc. and I've been really busy the last few days making some journal covers, and I wanted to show a few of them to you because I've been experimenting with a couple of different kinds of closures. Now really these are all just covers that I'm showing you, but they're made out of wallpaper, so that they've got wallpaper on the outside and on the inside. And this particular one has a frog closure, and I've got a sample signature in here because I just wanted to show you how it works with this type of a closure. So these are a couple of signatures I'm building for another journal. So here's the inside. We've got a little flap here on both sides for a tuck spot. But this is a frog closure, and you can get these at the fabric store, and you just attach it like that. So hopefully you can see that. Like that. And you just attach them with a brad, glue them down, and then and voila, you have a little closure that looks pretty cool, I think. And then this one, this is a little buckle. They come in a set of 4 at the fabric store. I got mine from Joann Fabrics. They also have round ones. They're in the button section, and they're very cute. So with this one, I just used a ribbon, attached the buckle to it, just sewed it around like that, and then glued the ribbon down both sides, the front and back, and then you just thread it through. And I'm just kind of waiting until this one has signatures to get the final length of the ribbon. So that's another type of closure. And then on this one, I have a hitch post right here. And this is a closure. I got it at, I think I got it at Joann Fabrics, but I got it in the jewelry section. And they have like a little thing that slips through there, but that really wasn't going to work here. So I put this hitch post, and that's what these look like. Let me see if I can hold that up closer. So it's 2 pieces, and they screw together. You can see that. And what I did is I put it on the underside of this doily. There's actually 2 doilies here, and I put it through both of those doilies and then glued it down, glued everything down. And then when this one has the signatures in it, which I'll show you, then it comes and it just attaches to that hitch post like that. So this is just some ribbon, and it attaches underneath, just glued down underneath this part of the ribbon, and comes around and just attaches that way. So that's the third one. This is another one with a buckle. It just comes all the way around like so. And okay, so this one is a little bit different. When I made this, what I did was, before I glued everything down this way, I cut a tiny little slit here. Can you see that? And then reinforced it with masking tape on the other side, and then glued some ribbon down underneath all of this inside. And then what you do with this is simply wrap it around your journal and tie it. Wrap it around like this, and then you tie it in a pretty bow, and voila, you have a really pretty closure. And I did another one similar, same type of thing, but I used sari silk with this one. And then this one is a loose ribbon that's just wrapped around and can be removed. And then this is another one with a buckle. So these were a lot of fun to make, and I thought we could make one of these little covers together. I don't know if we'll get to the point of embellishing them, but if we do, I'm ready. I have everything here. So I'm just going to put all this stuff away. Okay, so what I have here is some pretty wallpaper, front and back, and I just think this is a beautiful pattern. And I have it cut to about, I'm going to have a 1-inch spine, and then this is 9 and then 15 inches long. And what I did is I scored 1 inch on either side, either end, so that when it folds over like this, you've got a tuck spot. And it's also scored 1/2 inch away from the center, down the width of it, and then that forms the spine. So I'm planning on a 1-inch spine for these. And then I also have 2 pieces of the for other wallpaper coordinating for the lining. But then to give it a little bit of stiffness, I just have some file folder here, and then a piece for the spine for this just like from a rice box. And then also some felt to go between the file folder and the inside piece. So what I'm going to do is start to get these ready to adhere. And you can use, of course, you can use Fabri-Tac or art glitter glue, but I'm going to use a Xyron. And what a Xyron is, I will show you. And they're kind of spendy, but I was gluing a bunch of these covers and my hands really started to hurt. So I've had this Xyron forever, and I don't know how much they cost now, but the cartridges, like I said, can be a little expensive. But for me, if I'm going to you know, use it for stuff like this, I have it, and it really saved my hands. So for me, it was worth it. Okay, so I'm just gonna run this through. You put it so that the side that you don't want the glue on is facing up, and then you just put it in the guide and run it through. And I'll put a link to these below. Like I said, I've had this forever. I'm not sure when I got it or where I got it, but I used it a lot for scrapbooking. And I have other sizes too, like this little one for a sticker maker. You can put little things through here to make stickers. My only complaint about these is that the cartridges aren't recyclable. And I'm also going to put these pieces through. And the file folder pieces too. Seriously, best thing ever for my hands. Okie dokie. So now you remove the film. And you have to be a little bit careful removing the film once you get it started, especially with wallpaper, because sometimes it can start to, it can have a tendency to tear. You can get other cartridges for these too. You can get laminating cartridges, magnetic cartridges, cartridges so that you can apply some magnetic backing on things. Like I said, I have different sizes of these. And I have seen these in, now it's sticking to my hand. There. Okay, that doesn't usually happen, but okay, let's see here. I'm going to attach these file folder pieces. So I'm cutting down to the edges on these because I'm going to put it this side down and then pull the film off and put the felt on top of that. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to smooth this on. And there's going to be a little bit showing here, and I can trim that off. Okay, now I'm going to attach the center piece. And then the felt. And of course you can, trim off any excess that's going to be showing. And then the inside pieces. And then that gives it a nice soft feel. And then we'll put a piece of felt here as well. And for that, I'm just going to go ahead and use Fabri-Tac. Now, one thing I want to do, and I almost forgot, is I'm gonna have a ring fastener, and I want to make sure that I attach that now. So I've already marked it. It's at the other end. I'll just peel that back a little bit. And I go down the center of the spine and about 3/4 of an inch from the top. And the reason I want to attach this is because I want the brad to be underneath the felt. So that's what this is. And I'll show you the package in just a second. But I'm just going to put this here, and then this will give me something to hang, a tassel or some spine jewelry or something like that. Let's get that positioned. And you just do that, and then press the felt down. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go grab the lace that I wanted to attach on the inside here, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I grabbed some eyelet, and what I would like to do is just attach my frame. Yeah, okay. So I'm just going to lay this right on top of this glue strip right here, this flap. Same over here. Okay, very good. Now when I fold it over, we have a nice little tuck spot. But I also want to put something down the center, some fabric, so that it will, go inside the grooves here, and then have some lace and stuff on the edges, so that when you close it, you don't see any of this. So you can put the wallpaper all the way across, but what I have found is that it kind of warps and bubbles in the center. Okay, so I will go ahead and grab that. Okay, so what I grabbed was some hem facing that I have in my stash, and it's just the right width. So I'm just going to glue this down to the center of this felt, and for that I'm going to use some Fabri-Tac. And the Fabri-Tac may show through, but this is where the signatures are going to be, so it's going to be okay. And I also want to make sure that I try to get it in the grooves as well. I'm just trying to center it on there as best I can. There. Now to give it a little bit more interest on the edges, I'm going to attach some of this lace to it. What I like about this lace is that it has two sides to it. So that makes it nice. I can cut it apart and use each side separately. They're also not really very connected, so they make nice little embellishments. I have no idea where this lace came from, but I just really liked it. It might have been a garage sale or thrift store or something like that. That's where that hem facing came from. It's a thrift store. I always go to the sewing area or the craft area, whichever they have. Okay, so now what I would like to do is just, spot glue it on in different, just kind of along the edge there. And when I do the sewing around the journal, then that'll all get kind of sewed down too. And what I mean by spot gluing is I'm just going to put just some dabs of glue on the parts of the lace that stick out the most, if that makes sense. Okay, and then the same thing on this side as well. Okay, now I'm just going to trim top and bottom. Now I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and I'm going to sew the top and the bottom and come back, and then we'll put on the finishing touches for the outside, or for the, how we're going to cover up this area up in here. Okay, so this is coming along really nicely. So I've sewed along the top and the bottom, but obviously I don't want to just leave these raw edges. So what I have here is some of this, here we go, this bias tape, this extra wide double fold bias tape. Okay, so the reason I use the double fold, the extra wide, is because I'm going to attach it like so, and then I've got the top and the bottom edges, the raw edges, covered, and I really like the way that looks. It gives it a nice finished look. And with these wallpaper type covers, it works really well. So what I do is I start on the outside and I just kind of get it sort of centered on there. I'll put a little clip and just to kind of hold it in place, and then I'll just kind of glue along the stitching line here and fold that down as nicely as I can. And you do want to have a little bit of overhang on the edges, on the ends I mean, so that you can fold it over and have it look finished. And I'll show you what I mean. Okay, and see, you can see through this a little bit, but I'm also going to be putting some lace on there too. Mostly I just am using this to cover up the raw edges. And let's see, I have my other piece cut. So whatever size your journal is, your journal cover, you just, add another, I don't know, 1/2 inch on either end for this, and then that'll give you enough enough on the end to fold it under. And the nice thing about this being folded already, this double fold like that, that's what it means, double fold, is that you don't have to do any hemming or anything like that. And this stuff comes in all different colors. So this is one of those things that I always pick up when I'm at the when it's on sale, like at Joann, or if I'm at a thrift store and they've got some in a package. It's one of the things I like to pick up because it just comes in so handy, not just when you're sewing. Okay, now same thing here on the inside. So I'm going almost to the end, but not quite. Now to finish off the end part, I'm going to put a little dab of glue here in the corner, and then take fold over from the outside to the inside like so. And then give a little bit more glue here, and then kind of on the inside where that meets. Okay, and then you can just kind of tuck it around like that. So I hope you can see that. And then I will put a clip there to hold that. And then I'm going to do this on all four corners. Okay, so the outside of the cover and the inside of the cover are basically ready for embellishment now. And what I thought I would like to do is add some more lace to the top, and I'm going to start with this crocheted lace that I have on hand. And I'm going to position it, well, it would be nice to be able to position it on either side of that ring, but since it's not gonna let me do that, it's not long enough, I'll just go ahead and do it anyway. I've done that on a couple of other ones where I've used a little bit longer lace, and it's fine. You just go underneath the lace to attach your spine dangle, and then I like this layer as well. I'm going to put another bead of glue along the top. Of course, I'm using Fabri-Tac. And then on the front, I have some lace doilies, but I want to attach the little buckle first. So basically all I've done is run the ribbon through the center bar of this buckle, and then sewed it down and finished off the other end as well so it doesn't fray. And then you'll just be able to pull it through. So I'm going to measure where this is going to go because I want it to go underneath the doily. Okay, so I just realized that this is going to be too short. So what I will do is, instead of gluing it all the way like that, all the way across, I'm going to cut it off right here. I'm going to put the doily over it. Then we'll attach the remainder on the other side, and then that way I can get it in the right spot. Okay, so that was good to know. I probably knew that when I measured it, but it's been a couple of days since I put all this stuff together. Last thing I want to do is have a journal that's all put together and then the closure doesn't work. So the summer before last, my husband and I were at an estate sale, and the guy was selling off, just a ton of different sewing and craft items and things like that. And I think it was his mom's. But anyway, he had this giant bag of all these beautiful hand crocheted doilies. And so, of course, being a junk journaler, I just took them all. Because why not, right? Okay, and I have this little flower to go here. I wasn't really sure exactly how I was going to use the doilies, but now I'm in the process of using them. And I want to put a couple of leaves in here too, because I just think that since I have all these leaves, they really add a lot of interest. I just really like them. I think they're super cute. I have this little butterfly charm that, well, look at the lighting. The sun is shining in right now. But anyway, I have this little butterfly charm with these little kind of gold gems. And I just thought this would look really cute with the little gold flowers. So I'm going to I put a little lobster claw on there. I'm just going to attach it to this piece of this doily so it kind of hangs down. And then I'm going to make a little faux book plate. This is upholstery fabric that I'm using, and I just cut it out with my pinking shears. So both of these are upholstery fabric. Another thing I found at a garage sale, a bunch of sample books of upholstery fabric, because it's at the beginning of the pandemic, and the lady who was having the garage sale thought people could make masks out of them, and I'm thinking, no, you really can't. Okay, so what I've done here is I've taken some copy dyed paper and stamped the word journal on it and then embossed it. So I'm going to glue it onto this, and then I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and sew around it, and when I'm all done it's going to look like leather. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so now I've sewn all the way around, and I just really think that looks like leather. So I'm going to attach this right about here with some Fabri-Tac, and then I think I'll put another little bit of lace around the edge there, the bottom edge. Okay, so I have some of this crocheted lace that I got at the dollar store. So I'm going to attach that. A lot of the other lace that I have on here is vintage lace that I picked up at antique stores and things like that. But this Dollar Tree lace is a really nice little trim. Okay, then another finishing touch that I like to do is to add some corners. And these are from the button section. These are actually like little ornate plastic buttons that I got at Joann Fabric. You can even see the little holes there. But I like to use them as corner embellishments like that, and it just, to me, it just really finishes it off. I need to go get some more because these are my last two, and I kept asking myself the last time I bought these, or the last time I ran out, I was like, how come I'm ending up with just two left? And it's because these are intended as buttons and not like the metal corners where you obviously get four. One for each corner. Okay, so then the last thing I need to do is to add the rest of this little belt section. So what I'm going to do is, I've already finished off the one end, which is this end. Put it through the belt, or through the buckle. Figure out where I want it. And then add the signatures. My little test signatures, and then turn it over and figure out, let's see, I can even give it like a little bit more than what I think I need. Okay, and then add some glue. So I'm going to trim off a little bit, and then I'm going to turn the end under so it doesn't fray, and then glue the rest of it down. Okay, so I found this little scrap of lace, this little ribbon right here, and I'm just going to attach it right on the end of this ribbon just to give it a little bit of a finishing touch. And then we can add the tassel, and this will be done. Perfect. Okay, so I have this tassel, and what I'm going to do is attach it to this bulb clip and add this little, I don't know what you call it, just a little red ball charm. Lift up the lace and slide that through and attach it, and then you have this pretty little tassel with a charm on it that can come off. Okay, I'm going to call this done, and I hope you enjoyed this. It was kind of a fun process, so if you have some wallpaper and file folders and ribbons and doilies and things like that, I hope you'll give this a try. So if you did enjoy this, please give me a thumbs up, and subscribe if you haven't already. And for those of you who have watched my videos before, I really appreciate the fact that you do. It makes me really happy. So always let the serendipity find you, and go ahead and have a wonderful, happy, crafty day. So I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.